Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of the Big Blue News Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Beasmore, and of course, we've got the co-host with me, Nolan Fleming. How are you doing, real quick?
A lot better than I was like 3 days ago, uh, or even 2 days ago for that matter. But I'm getting back there. But
Yeah.
I'm definitely the least important person on this podcast today.
No, not true. But today we have former Kentucky Wildcat wide receiver who was on the team from 2014 through 2018. Today we have David Bouvier joining us. How are you doing?
I'm good, Chris. Good to see you.
I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Real quick, what have you been up to since you've graduated from UK and working now?
Oh yeah. Well, still going to UK games, but just in a different capacity now. Was drinking Gatorade on Saturdays. Now I'm drinking other beverages, so it's nice to be on the other side a little bit. But other than that, no, I've been good. Live up here in northern Kentucky in Florence now. Just got married last month, so pretty things are going pretty good for me right now.
We got an applause thing. Do we have like an any emote or
Yep.
something? Like
Clapping button. Yeah.
clap, like congratulations and all that stuff. Anyway, congratulations either way.
Yeah,
Appreciate
congratulations. Yeah, I can edit that audio onto the podcast post
Yeah, we
edit
need a soundboard.
soundboard.
There you
Yeah,
go.
only can do so much. But congratulations on getting married, and then of course, like you said, drinking other beverages now on game days. So that must be exciting. UK also legalizing alcohol sales, so always great to hear. But we brought you onto the podcast so to talk about your career while at Kentucky, and then also to preview the Missouri game. So let's get into it. I just want to talk about how did it feel, to play at Kentucky since you're from Lexington?
It was a dream come true. It was a lot of hard work getting to that point and earning your way on the field. But it was really cool because me and my dad, we went to pretty much every UK home game growing up, and um, it was there's a lot of rough years there. So to be on the team and be on a team that was successful, it was just really cool because I could understand from a fan's perspective how much that means. So it was just an awesome experience. It was just I missed the locker room a lot, but just super thankful for my time there, and I just had a wonderful time with all the players and coaches. It was pretty special, especially that 2018 year.
Yeah, that 2018 year, a lot happened. Oh no, did we lose David? Oh no, did I lose service with everybody?
Yeah, you did.
Oh no,
All
but
right, he's just taking it all in. It was
Yeah, he was having to really let that soak in.
yeah,
Looks like he's having to do it again. Oh no, there he is. Okay.
yeah, you had to soak it in definitely the 2018 year for sure. I know you went from being a walk-on to eventually being a scholarship player. What was the feeling like once you earned that scholarship?
that was just really cool. When Coach Stoops say put me on scholarship, in front of the whole team. They all come up and just tackle me. So that was, something I'll never forget. And it's cool that he's still doing that for players. Like I just saw Cole Lantern. He just earned his scholarship there. Even though he's a Boyle County guy, I went to Lexington Catholic, so no love lost, but I was super pumped for him. Never thought I'd be rooting for a Boco guy, but just couldn't be more excited for him.
Nolan, do you have any questions you would like to ask David so far?
Not yet.
Not
I guess about 2018. Just like I guess what was like the feeling of the team during that season? Because like it was really cool. I know for us fans to watch that happen. It was kind of a dream season for a lot of people. I would never thought we would see such heights, especially like playing Georgia for the East. I mean, that was kind of just unheard of back then. Like, kind of, what was that like?
Yeah, we had decent teams leading up to that year, and we went to a few bowl games. You could sense the program turning around, and before that 2018 season, we just had all the practices and stuff. I was like, you know what, we're really good. Like this is a different team. All the media and stuff. They had us going, 5-7 or 6-6 and stuff. And I was just, we could all kind of feel that this was a special group. We all really cared about each other, and we're all focused on winning. Just a really unselfish group of guys. So, going into that year, we knew we had the team to do something special, and thankfully, everyone stayed healthy for the most part, and we beat Florida first time in 31 years. Once we knocked that door down, it was we just hit the ground running. And but yeah, it helps having guys like Josh Allen and Benny Snell, generational players on your team as well. But we just knew we had a good team, and it was nice that all the hard work we put in, you saw it on the field on Saturdays.
How did it feel? How did it feel to beat Florida?
Oh, that was cool, man. Especially at the Swamp. Those fans are pretty ruthless down there, and just chirping all game before the game, and they're even chirping at my parents, who are like the sweetest people of all time, when they say anything. I'm like, gosh, you guys. So that was really sweet, beating them at their place. And the locker room afterwards, we're all just excited, and Coach Stoops is pumped up. We're all dancing and throwing water around, smoking some cigars. It was really cool. We enjoyed that one, and the plane ride back was a lot of fun as well.
Just in case you didn't know, you were pretty important in that game. That's just if you didn't know. I'm sure you did, but yeah. A lot of people, I mean, yeah, you're responsible for a touchdown that is quite replayed. I mean, how does that, that's kind of your legacy in a little bit.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just I think it just gets get a lot of attention for that, just because the streak was so long, and we've kind of finally broke through there. And that touchdown that Terry threw me was very early in the game, so I wanted to stay focused. But I was pretty hyped when it happened, and the fact that we just played well the whole game, I was just just thrilled for us, and thrilled for our fans. And the play I scored on, it was kind of just a broken play, but with Terry, he's such a scrambler. He runs around. The play was never really over with him. So I just kind of worked up the sideline once I saw him scrambling, and I was like, I'm kind of open here. He might throw this ball. And he threw it, and I was like, oh, here we go. So that was like, credit to Terry, really. That was a really tough throw, and he put it on the money, and that was got the ball rolling from there.
Yeah, it was a very special moment for sure against Florida, just beating that streak. And I mean, it was an amazing performance as well in the Swamp. Just not only you, but Terry Wilson, defensive side, Josh Allen. I mean, making that play at the end, Josh Allen being able to get the ball loose, and eventually, getting another touchdown at the end, and eventually beating Florida.
Yeah, Josh Allen, he's just a generational player. Probably, yeah, gosh, best defensive player I ever seen. I'd like to see what's that stat, the WAR stat, like wins above replacement.
Yeah,
there's easily 2 or 3 games we don't have that guy. We're probably a different outcome.
What's crazy is too, and I don't know how, considering how hyped up he was by everyone going into that draft in 2019, he's kind of the most like underrated player right now, I think, in the NFL on the defensive side of things. Because like I watched Jacksonville and Buffalo. I mean, he got to the other Josh Allen. I mean, quite a bit in that game. It was pretty fun to watch, because the whole joke is that Josh Allen owns Josh Allen. So like,
right, yeah, I love when when they play each other. It's always a fun storyline. But yeah, it's just no surprise to all of us that he's still succeeding. Your times you watch him on film and during the games, you're just like, how could anyone ever stop this guy? He was just such a freak of nature, so strong. And it's just not a surprise at all that he's doing so well in the NFL.
Yeah, and I want to talk a little bit more about your senior season. I mean, UK Missouri game, you also had a big that game on the last drive, having 2 key catches. I mean, can you talk about that last drive where eventually UK beat Missouri? CJ Conrad obviously scored the game-winning touchdown at the end.
Yeah, that was a weird game, man. It was just the offense was just, we were just abysmal for the first, until the last minute of the game. And, that last drive, we just kind of put it all together, ran our 2-minute drill plays and just marched down the field. And, CJ, before we go out there, we knew the play and we'd run it so much. He's like, Terry, just put it on me. Just put it on me. And, Terry was like, I got you, did it. And, scored. That was another cool, locker room experience with Coach Stoops just crowd surfing and breaking ceiling tiles. And, we're all going crazy. Cash is, banging his head against the locker. That's just normal for him. But, that was just, one of those improbable wins that, that team was just filled with a bunch of winners. We knew we were, never out of it. So, and our defense, they deserve a lot of credit for that game because they, I think they only held them to like 1 first down in the second half or something. So, all the credit really goes to the defense.
I think they were like one of the top 5 offenses in the country too going into that game, and they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They had Drew Lock at quarterback as well. So it was.
Yeah. People forget how crazy he was too. I mean, he was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
But never mind. I just had something. I just lost it. So go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. Another question I had is, how did it feel to beat, Louisville over the years, whenever you were on the team?
Yeah. Early on, I guess I was like, 2015, 16. They were a really good team. Had Lamar, and it was always competitive. But those last couple years, Murray State was better than them. They were really down there so we knew it was a easy win those last couple years. But beating them, it's still always so special. You got the bragging rights for the full year. Louisville fans can't say anything to you, but out of all the years that Lamar Jackson fumble year, when he won the Heisman, but we were able to beat them at their place when they were top 10. That was really cool. That's one of those I'll never forget.
Yeah.
That's somehow an underrated win too in the Stoops era. I don't know how that's underrated now, but it is.
Yeah, I know. I think just because Louisville, I mean, they're starting to turn around this year, but they've just been so bad for so long. People forget, they were kind of the top of the ACC there for a while, but hopefully they're a little more competitive now. Bring the rivalry back to where it should be.
Yeah.
Like Chris admitted when we were going into that game before you were about to watch it. I mean, you were on the team, David, so I can't ask you this, but I thought we were going to lose by 35. Let's just be honest here. Like I thought, oh, we're going to get killed, but I'm going to watch it anyway. Literally, me and my dad and my brother. I was in like 7th grade, and my brother's a year younger than me. But he literally asked, all right, what do y'all want to watch? Michigan, Ohio State, and I was the deciding Michigan, Ohio State, or Kentucky, Louisville, and I was the deciding vote to watch Kentucky, Louisville.
Ooh.
I mean, like. That's how bad I think a lot of people thought we were going to get beaten that game. But obviously y'all didn't get killed. So
yeah, no, I mean that's fair though. I mean, I think I remember hearing like the spread was like 28 or something. So it was we were definitely big underdogs that game, but you kind of just throw everything out the window for rivalry games like that because both teams are going to come out with the juice and come out ready to play. So it was, I was very happy we were able to win that one.
Yeah, and I remember I was watching the game, the first half of the game at B-Dubs, and man, it was just an insane game from start to finish. Steven Johnson had a great game back in 2016, and
I love this blank. One of the greatest plays in history.
That man's got a good memory, I tell you. Yeah. I knew Chris back in the Lexcath days, and so he could probably recall all those games. They're not
for sure. Just I remember Louisville was struggling a little bit. I think right before that game, I think they were 9-2 at the time or something right before that UK Louisville game. So I thought there was a chance that y'all would be able to beat Louisville, and I was very happy I was right, and y'all eventually did win with
Who
awesome.
was it? Wasn't it Houston the week before or something? They just got obliterated. I
Let's
thought it
go,
was Houston.
let's go look at the schedule because I have it pulled up right now.
Mhm.
They got killed by Houston. It was 36-10 the
Right.
game
Yeah,
before.
because I remember that's when they were like really good or whatever.
They
Mhm.
were Lamar Jackson won the Heisman that year too.
Yeah.
That's right.
And he went from fumbling balls against you all to fumbling balls just this past weekend.
Pause.
but but yeah, another question I have for you is, do you have a favorite bowl game from over the years that you played in or even just watched, you know?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Personally, playing days, that Penn State win down in Orlando was awesome. Just kind of a culmination of all the hard work we put in. And, we were all so pumped. We were playing, kind of a blue blood of football. So we're like, if we win this one, this is just another huge step for the program. And, it was, that was just really cool. And Benny breaking the rushing record that game, just everything. Yeah, that one is one I'll never forget. But oh yeah, gosh. And then, just watching UK last, 5 years since I've been off the team when Lynn Bowden went crazy against Virginia Tech.
Mhm.
I always tell people, I was like, that man is just so incredible in open space. Like good luck. I don't know how anyone can tackle him. My senior year, we were shared punt return duty. I did it most of the time, but Lynn wasn't always too comfortable catching the ball, and he was a bit of a wild card. The coaches knew I could get a good fair catch for him, so I was out there most of the time. But whenever Lynn wanted to go out there, I was like, just go, please, because I think he went back there like 6, 7 times, and out of those 7, returned like 3 touchdowns. So he was just a special player. And then he just got done in that Penn State game, just scored a touchdown from a punt return, and our defense had a quick stop. And then he was like, Boov, I'm tired. Like, you got to go in there. I was like, no way, dude. They will boo me if I go. You just scored a touchdown. You have to go. But no, he was just an ultimate gamer in that Belk Bowl game against Virginia Tech. It was just, I wasn't surprised, but man, he could just, once he had the ball in his hands, he just had his way with defenses.
And you were saying earlier in that Penn State game, was it you or Lynn Bowden that decided to go out there for that punt return? Obviously, I know Lynn did it, but was there a debate at all during that time for him to go out there, do the punt return, and eventually score that touchdown in the bowl game?
Yeah, I mean, the coaches pretty much just left it up to us two for whoever would go back there. And whenever Lynn, wanted to go, I was like, you go, please. Because if he just gets the ball in his hands, he's gonna make something special happen. So yeah, we just had such a good relationship there. So anytime he wanted to go in, I was like, you go, man. But other than that, yeah, it was just me making fair catches, and that's why the coaches put me back there, just to make sure we don't lose the ball or anything. But yeah, anytime you get Lynn back there, it's going to be good for us.
And he's on the Saints right now, correct?
He is, yeah. He's just kind of working his, he just needs an opportunity.
Mhm.
Anytime he gets in, especially preseason games, I'm like, gosh, why are teams not playing him more? He just kills it every single time he's out there. And and also he's just such a gamer. He obviously did special things in practice, but once you put him on the field during the game, he just gets into a different mode and is just the ultimate competitor. And I just think he needs more opportunities in the game to get in, because once he gets in there, I know he won't let another guy take his job. So I'm glad he's still in the NFL, still pushing, to make the team. But I think his time's coming.
Eventually, for sure. Nolan, do you have any more questions before we start talking about the UK Missouri game this upcoming week?
Nah, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So right now, Kentucky is obviously 5-1. They just got blown out by Georgia. And right now, we want to talk about UK's offense. They've been struggling right now, not even with the run game, but the passing game. Do you have anything that might be going on with the wide receivers like mental or, quarterback Devin Leary, like him being injured still potentially or recovering from his injury? Like, do you know what could be potentially wrong with the offense currently?
Yeah, I think that's a part of it. Not having the game reps, and SEC's a different beast, especially on the road. That's a really tough environment. I was actually down there Saturday, so got to see that one live, unfortunately. But it's tough. I think the receivers maybe have a little bit of the yips right now, but they're just so talented and such, incredible players that I think they'll figure it out. It's just getting on time with the quarterback. It's a process, just takes a lot of reps. And I think, I think they'll be fine. They just got to settle in and really watch the film and just get a lot of reps with Devin at practice. And I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, and I think the big thing about UK this coming up week is obviously they need to get on track. And both teams are going to be hungry for a win. Obviously, Missouri just lost to LSU over the weekend. UK lost to Georgia. I'm sorry you were there at the blowout this past weekend. But it'll be interesting to see though what UK does to stop Brady Cook on the offensive side because he's been cooking all year so far.
Yeah, I got a quick question though. My main concern from the Georgia game was the discipline of the team. Specifically Jagger Burton and Deion Walker. I know everyone on Twitter loves to talk about that right now. But I think it's valid because Jagger, let's be honest. I mean, Jagger Burton, he's great. I mean, he seems like a nice guy, but that was really, really, really stupid, I thought. I've never played a down of football, don't get me wrong, but that shot us in the foot. And Deion Walker even, that would have been, what was it? That was a third down, wasn't it? Where he
Fourth
did the
down, like it was an incomplete pass. It would have been fourth down. They were punting or they were about to punt.
Yeah, that killed us too. I know he probably thought the ball was live, but still, I think that would have been like a blindside or something. How can Kentucky get more discipline? I guess is my question going in. Such a short turnaround.
Yeah, that was a couple unexpected plays by those guys because from what I've heard, they're great guys and they work hard. But yeah, you just can't do that in those moments, especially. And Coach Stoops always has a disciplined team. Yeah, sometimes I think it's just a case of being over juiced up, maybe trying to do too much. You kind of get out of your mind a little bit, maybe trying to do a little too much. So yeah, all you can do is just learn from those mistakes and not repeat them again. So I don't know if this last game, that might be a game that Stoops burned the film. I don't know if they watched it too much, but yeah, but this is definitely going to be a real telltale this game against Missouri because I don't know, both big game for both teams. I'm definitely glad we're back at home because it doesn't seem like we're quite ready for a tough road environment. But hopefully they learn from that experience. SEC's tough. Georgia is number one in the country.
Yeah, I think people are losing sight of that too.
Yeah.
Georgia is quite literally probably the top program in all of college football. Like they've won 2 championships in a row. Like I'm not saying we should have lost
games in a year.
Exactly. I'm not saying we should have lost by how many we did. We should have probably kept it closer than that. But they are still Georgia. Like
right. Yeah, you'd obviously like to see it be a little more competitive, but yeah, that's a tough team. That's a juggernaut right there. So
people are going to come at me on Twitter now if you clip that.
I'll clip it on Twitter for sure. But yeah, no, I think UK could have probably had a closer game against Georgia if it weren't for those 3 costly penalties. Obviously, 2 by Jagger Berton and then 1 by Deion Walker. Obviously, I don't think UK would have won, but I think it would have been closer. Maybe 20 points they would have lost by instead of almost 40.
Yeah, it just kills your momentum, man. It's especially that one pass. I think it was Tavion was wide open.
Oh, that was
first or
brutal.
second drive. It was just a couple plays like that, things can just really snowball from there. And who knows what could happen if we complete that pass or we don't make those costly penalties. So yeah, I promise you, Coach Stoops definitely laid into him on Monday when they watched the film, and I will be shocked if they, Deion or Jagger ever make a mistake like that again, because I mean they're so good. We need them throughout the year, so hopefully just a learning experience for those guys.
And that potentially left what? I mean, that left at least 10 off on the at least 10 points off the board for Jagger. And then our next offensive possession after the Deion Walker one where we went down 21-0 was a touchdown. I mean, you never know. I'm not saying we would have been in the lead, but
it would have been
it certainly would have been possible.
Instead of 38-point blowout, it could have been 17 or something.
Yeah, could have been better than it was.
Yeah. But yeah, also I know we were talking about the Missouri game coming up. How do you think UK's defense will be able to stop, Missouri's offense? I mean, it's been crazy recently. I mean, with Brady Cook, the quarterback, and then wide receivers Luther Burden, Mookie Cooper, and McKee Miller. I mean, their offense has been killer recently. And what do you think Brad White is going to do this upcoming week?
Oh gosh, I know they're going to be watching a lot of film. That's a tough team. I watched a little bit of that game against LSU. I mean, their offense just looked really good. So I know Brad White will have those guys prepared. He's such a great coach. I'll be shocked if we have him too much longer. Josh Allen, he gives a lot of credit to for his success too, Brad White. So people don't realize just how important of a guy he is. But yeah, for our defense, they just have Missouri just has a lot of speed. We certainly got speed on defense, but I'm just happy we're at home because the crowd just makes such a difference when you're able to, be loud and affect their communication and everything. I think, I think our primetime guys like Trevin Wallace and Deion Walker, we're going to need big games out of them. And the secondary is going to have their hands full. So, if they can just keep everything in front of them, stay disciplined, know their keys, they'll be fine.
And right now,
I was going to say, I think Missouri has a good offense, but LSU's defense could make my flag football team's offense look like Georgia. I mean, they're really, really, really bad. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. And Matt House is the defensive coordinator there now, in case people didn't know that.
That's right. Yeah, it's shocking to see. I feel bad for the LSU offensive guys. It's like, gosh,
they're really good. Yeah,
we're putting up 40 every week.
Exactly, they're really good. I mean, they were killing Ole Miss. Probably should have won that game if it wasn't for their defense.
Yeah. Our defense is definitely a lot better than LSU's. So, hopefully, we'll show up for this game and kind of hit Missouri in the mouth here. So, because I know UK guys were going to be chomping at the bit, ready to correct this, from this past weekend and hopefully play a good game here. So I'm excited to see it.
They're going to be fired up too because they think that we're like their biggest rival in the SEC. So, I mean, they want to beat us. So, I mean, they're going to be pumped.
Right.
Yeah, and I think I saw a stat that UK is 7-3 against Missouri in the last 10 games, and right now they are 4-1 at home. UK is, so I think they have a good shot. UK is a 3-point favorite right now at Kroger Field. Right now, there's only 2 players listed hurt on the depth chart, and that is Jalen Geiger and Kenneth Horsey. So I'm hoping that Kenneth Horsey will eventually be back for Kentucky. He's been out since week 1, and then Geiger got injured against Georgia this past week, so he'll be out for a few games as well.
Yeah, those are two huge, hugely important players. Once we get Kenneth back on the line, I think they'll be able to mesh a lot better. Of course, they looked good in the Florida game, but having his experience out there, Kenneth is one of the few guys that he was actually on the team when I was there, which is crazy to think about. I think him, Brendan Bates, Chance Poor, all those 6-year senior guys, they're still on the team from I was there. And I'm like, that's crazy. I've been been on a team since 2018, like 5 years. So yeah, their experience is invaluable. And Jalen Geiger, he's such a good player. I hated to see him go down with an injury, but yeah, I'm excited for his future. We could definitely use him for this game.
Yeah, and hopefully Kenneth Horsey will eventually be back. I'm thinking it'll probably be the Tennessee game. Real quick, and then we'll get into the score prediction for this game. But what did you think about Mark Stoops' comments earlier this week? If you don't know what he said, but fans have the right to complain. He says he gives it to them. I just encourage them to donate more because that's what those dudes are doing. I can promise you, Georgia, they bought some pretty good players. You are allowed to these days. We could use some help.
This is the part where I guess Chris is going to try to get you killed on Twitter. So.
No way. I'm just
trying to get a gotcha on me.
Yeah.
No way.
Like it's like one of those videos. There's a video like where they're on a podcast and they keep saying all this stuff, and it's like, what do you think about that? And it's like, well, and then so go ahead, just give us your version.
Yeah, hey, whatever Coach Stoops says, I'm behind. If he told me to run gassers right now, I'd do it. So that's, but I don't know too much about that, but it is just crazy with the NIL now and just how it's free agency. That's just part of it is just having money to get the best players in the country and out of the transfer portal. So. If Coach Stoops says it, I'm behind it. That's my stance.
I'm gonna use a fan perspective real quick.
All
I
right.
personally don't think that he said anything really crazy. Maybe the Georgia thing could have been left out, saying that Georgia bought players. That's probably gonna get him. Already has gotten him flamed pretty hard.
Yeah.
But and I don't know how that affects his relationship with Kirby Smart. I'm gonna assume it's not gonna be as great as it was. But I maybe it rubbed the people the wrong way that he was asking. It sounded like he was asking for money from fans who are already spending enough money on, I think, the program with buying like gear and buying tickets and all that stuff. And I'm sure that rubbed people the wrong way. I'm trying to remain as neutral as possible because I really don't want to make anyone angry. So I'm just gonna stop right here and let you go ahead, Chris, and say what you think.
Yeah, I'll say what I want to say real quick, and then we'll get into score predictions. I think from my perspective, I don't think he said anything necessarily really wrong. I think it was just at the wrong time after getting blown out.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
After getting blown out from Georgia, I don't think he should have said that. I think he was just irritated from the fans' call, but that's my opinion. I think he had the right to say it. I just think he came out the wrong way, obviously the wrong time as well to do it.
And like you said, the Georgia game, and he himself made some pretty bad mistakes in the Georgia game, coaching wise, like that people were not really happy with, like his clock management or whatever. At the end of the first half, people were pretty mad about that. And so he's already not in good graces with like 30% of the fan base, and so now that 30% is going to turn into like 50. So
Yeah, and he's just such a competitive guy too. That loss weighs on him as much as it does for the fans and more. He just dedicates his whole life to him. So he showed a little emotion, I guess, when he made those comments. And obviously with the how the Georgia game with, it's hard to say anything right. He's seems like he's been away from controversy his whole tenure here. So I just hope the guys get the fans give him a little grace here. And if we win against Missouri, all is forgiven.
And I
So
think they should give him grace. I mean, he did. I know I actually tend to agree with the whole we need to have higher expectations than we used to because we're better than we used to be. I agree with that. But he did kind of save the football program. I mean, the program was kind of dead when he got here. I mean,
Yeah.
actually, no, kind of to it. It was dead.
2-10. Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean, so I mean, now we've won games that we definitely weren't going to win before him. So he did save the program. I think he deserves grace for that.
definitely. Yeah, I saw a lot of 2-10 seasons, growing up, and then right before Stoops got there, like it was a mess. So the fact that he's been able to build this program, from where it was to now is just an incredible feat. So, but yeah, I don't know. He may have wanted. I don't know if he would want to take that comment back. Even though there's truth in it. I think you guys are right. Just the timing with the Georgia loss, kind of can rub people the wrong way. So as long as we get this win this weekend, I think we'll be all right.
Last thing about Stoops, Chris. There are plenty of other schools out there that would like to have him right now, I think.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And I think there are schools that are going to go after him too, like Iowa, whenever that comes open, or maybe even Michigan State. You never know.
No doubt they're coming. The teams are coming for him.
Oh yeah, they're going to try to pay him too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're not wrong, but we'll have more with the podcast with David Bouvier in 1 second. But here's a word from our sponsors, so we'll be right back, you all. Before we get back into the podcast, I would like to announce our partnership with PrizePicks. It is a daily fantasy sports app that's completely legal here in Kentucky, and you can download it on your phone, PrizePicks, and also on your desktop, prizepicks.com. It is a great app. You can choose between 2 to 6 players and can win up to 25 times your entry. And they will also give you a 100% deposit back up to $100. So if you put in $100, PrizePicks will give you $100 back, making it $200. It's a great app. I really enjoy it. And use my code UKVideos to get that deposit as well. But let's get back into the podcast. All right, we're back with David, of course. But yeah, we've been talking a lot about Kentucky football, his career, of course, at UK, and what also UK has to do to defeat Missouri this upcoming week. So let's try to get into the score predictions now. Right now, Kentucky is a 3-point favorite against Missouri. What do you think Kentucky will have to do on Saturday to, get the win?
I think they got to come out with the juice like they did in the Florida game. Just put the Georgia defeat on the back burner, and it's a new season, 0-0 right now. I know that's coach speak there, but you really just got to have that attitude that this is a new game. You can really still do some special things this season if you win this one. So just come out with the juice, come out ready to play, because I know the fans will be rowdy and ready to go.
Yeah, and I talked to Nolan, before the Georgia game. I even said in our previous podcast that this game could potentially be the trap game for Kentucky because sometimes they lose 2 or 3 in a row, and that's been a problem under Mark Stoops. And hopefully,
yeah, one loss like Georgia can turn into like 3 or 4. Like it's not great.
Yeah, that's what I'm nervous about on Saturday, how it could potentially be a trap game. But like you said, the one good thing about Kentucky is at home. It's a night game, so the crowd will be definitely rowdy on Saturday night. All right, let's get into the score predictions now. What do you think the score will be? Kentucky is a 3-point favorite currently right now, David.
I'm going 31-13 Kentucky.
Wow.
They're gonna make a statement. Wide receivers are gonna be catching the ball. Ray Davis is gonna get back to doing Ray Davis things. So I think Coach Stoops is gonna have them ready to play. So I'm calling a big win for Kentucky.
A blowout. What about you, Nolan?
I think it's going to be a shootout. I think the offense is going to have to show up. If not, we'll probably lose. So I think I'll go ahead and take Kentucky, though, obviously, because what's the name of the podcast? Kentucky 41, Missouri 35.
I'll go a little bit lower compared to y'all. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be, like you said, it's going to be high scoring somewhat, and I think UK will win. Obviously, Big Blue News podcast
Yeah,
representing.
we
But I'm going
kind of comes with the job, doesn't it?
yeah, for sure. But I'm going to predict that Kentucky will win 30-23. I think it'll be a somewhat high scoring game. Kentucky will win by a touchdown, whether that be Kentucky gets the game winning touchdown at the end or like with 5 minutes left and Missouri doesn't score. I think UK's defense will hold up though on the final drive against Missouri and UK wins 30-23.
I like it.
It's reasonable.
Yeah, and right now the over under one more time. I'll get to it real quick. Over under is 51.5. So going
Davis,
with
should they take the over or under?
Oh gosh.
the
The Mark Stoops team. If it was that 2018 year under all day, with a a gritty 10-7 win. But I don't know. I'd probably go with the over, just based on how Missouri's playing, and if we can get things rolling on our offense, they're scary.
All
yeah.
right, I'm gonna go through this list, Chris. I want to do this before we actually go off air.
Oh god.
Off air. What am I talking about? Stop recording. I want to look at these lines for this game. I want to go literally just bit by bit. Hang on, let me pull it up real quick and see what you think. And hang on, just fill the room with
Fill the
noise real
time
quick.
with
Yeah.
that. But
Don't
yeah,
ask me for any betting advice. The only bets I've won are the promos where Kentucky scored a point and I get you get $50 or whatever.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
I think that's my only
I
win
can't either,
this year.
but I don't gamble because I know I'll lose.
yeah, I
So
saw I,
okay, here we go. So the spread you had obviously you had Kentucky at -2.5. You took the spread. Uh, so you'll find some other games actually. Yeah, here we go. Tell me about West Virginia and Houston. West Virginia Houston spread is -2.5. For West Virginia. You think West Virginia covers that spread?
Yep. I'm going Neil Brown. Going
Yep.
Neil Brown all day. He
All right.
recruited me, so my allegiance is with him.
Over under is 49.5 in that game. Jesus. Take the under on that personally. That's
Yeah,
a little high for a West Virginia Neil Brown team.
I'm with you. I'm going under.
Yeah.
A couple more. UTEP and Florida International. The spread is -3 for Florida International. Let's really test everyone's knowledge here. What do you know about FIU?
Oh gosh, what don't I know about FIU this year? Uh, oh gosh, yeah. We'll go FIU there for what you
At
say?
FIU. It's at FIU. If
At
that helps
FIU.
anything.
If I
We'll
you
roll
cover
the home
the spread.
team.
Yeah.
Over
FIU.
under 43.5. Take the over.
Yeah, we'll go.
I'll take
We'll
the
go
over on that. Yeah.
All
But
right.
but
Two
yeah.
more NFL now. The Chiefs and the Broncos tomorrow night. The spread is -10.5 for the Chiefs. I will take the Chiefs covering that all day. The
Yeah.
Broncos are trash.
Yeah. Russell Wilson trash.
I agree. Sean Payton's a piece of work. I'm always rooting against him.
Yeah, did you see the Hackett beating pretty good? What was it? Didn't he say something like those are the worst coaching job in NFL history or
Yeah.
something?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Now they're worse than last year. So
Oh yeah, much worse. He very well could lose his job after 1 year as well. Okay, 49ers Browns. The 49ers are favored by 7.
I'm going with the under on that. I think the Browns will cover.
I think that's a fair point. I think the Browns are good.
yeah, I think so. Is that at the Browns?
Yeah, it's at Cleveland.
Okay. I think there's some weather up there this weekend. Could be wrong.
Ooh. So
So
over
that
under
might
37. You might take the under on that then.
might go under. Yeah. But McCaffrey's on my fantasy team, so I need him to do some
Okay.
work.
Last one, and then I swear we'll leave you alone. Cowboys Chargers in LA on the Monday night game. Cowboys are favored by 2.5. I don't think they're going to win. I actually think the Chargers are going to beat them, so I'm going to take the Chargers to cover on that one.
Yeah, I think Chargers as well.
Same.
Over under 51. I'll take the over. That's going to be a lot of points in that game because the Chargers are terrible on defense and they're really good on offense this year.
Yep. Yep. I swear I'm not just agreeing with you to agree, but making valid points. Yeah, I think Chargers great offense. Cowboys going to bounce back, so should be a lot of points on the board.
I don't know. I think I might go with the under on that, honestly.
Really?
We'll see about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a pretty fun one to watch. These primetime games, I'm telling you, they're terrible this year. I mean, they're really bad. Like the Monday night one, like what was it, Raiders and Packers? That's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm confused by the matchups they select. I don't know how that process works, but
you know what this week's Sunday night game is?
Who is it? Is it
the Giants and the Bills?
Giants Bills.
Oh gosh, the Giants are.
I guess they're putting murders on national TV now.
Goodness gracious. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting though. Hopefully the Bengals, they'll be able to, get back in the playoffs. They've also been struggling a little bit this year. They're 2-3 right now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-3 right now. So hopefully the Bengals can continue to improve. Joe Burrow can get fully healthy. I mean, he had a great game. Jamar Chase had a great game this past Sunday. So hopefully UK and the Bengals can both win this weekend, and
hopefully the Falcons do too. My Falcons are looking a lot better than they did 2 weeks ago. I like the way Ritter looked in that game.
Yeah, he had like 300 plus yards passing, right?
Yeah, and he finally threw to Kyle Pitts. That's what I'm saying. Just throw to Kyle Pitts. My fantasy team needed that bad too. I'd make that mistake every year. I'd pick Kyle Pitts.
Oh gosh, yeah. Every year I'm thinking it's the year. I think he's good. It's just
they don't throw it to him.
throwing in the ball.
well,
all right, that's all I gotta say, Chris. So go Big Blue. I'll let you take us to the end of this thing.
Yeah, take us home basically. But yeah, so we all told our score predictions for this game against UK versus Missouri, also the other games in college football and NFL. So you all obviously don't have to listen to our advice. We can be wrong, but hopefully UK does get the win on Saturday and UK can improve to 6-1 and move back into the top 20, hopefully after this weekend if they do win. But thank you all for joining us. Of course, our podcast is on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. David, where can people find you on social media if they want to?
Oh, they could just type in. I think Dave Boov is my handles on every platform. So, but yeah, I'll feel free to give me a follow and I'll retweet this podcast. So, but yeah, appreciate you guys having me, man. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for joining, man. Love talking to you.
Yeah, thank you again for joining. This is Chris Beasmore signing out. You can find me on social media, C Beasmore Sports on Twitter, Instagram, or I should say X, and then on Instagram, Chris Beasmore _sports. If you want to find Nolan, it's Nolan UKY27 on X. Thank you all again for joining, and we'll have another podcast out very soon.